Hello, friends and viewers, students. This is Dr. Kashinath Neharkar, and I welcome you in my YouTube channel, Law Education Volunteer Dr. Kashinath Neharkar. Friends, in this lecture, we are going to discuss a principle relating to imposition of tax, and this is extension of constitutional provisions relating to tax. So, friends, if you have not yet subscribed my channel, please subscribe my channel and please press bell icon. So friends, let me start with today's lecture, and this principle is no tax shall be levied or collected except authority of law. Friends, this principle is related to tax, imposition of tax, collection of tax, and this principle is provided by Article 265 of Indian Constitution. So friends, as we know, the taxation is a system. A taxation is nothing but an inherent power of government to levy and collect the tax, and this power is necessary for the proper functioning of government. Nowadays, the government performs various functions. It includes social functions, welfare functions, protection functions, law and order, etc. And for such purpose, it requires huge fund, and the fund can be raised through various sources. The taxation is one of the source through which government can raise the fund. Therefore, the taxation is an inherent power of government. So government can exercise this power for levy and collection of tax. Friends, the taxes are levied by central government and state government, as it is described in a previous lecture, that was the distribution of taxing power under Indian Constitution. You can go there and to find that lecture on my YouTube channel. So both government, whether central government or state government, both government have power to levy and collect the tax within their jurisdiction, within their legislative competence. They can make law and they can impose tax. Friends, the authority to levy and collect tax is available to both government, and this authority is derived from Constitution of India. The legislative relations, specifically Article 245 to 248, that deals with the distribution of taxing power between central government and state government. So therefore, the imposition of tax, this is authority available to these governments, and this authority is received from the Constitution. So no tax, or the tax cannot be levied and collected by the orders. If the state government or the central government want to impose any tax, that tax shall be imposed by enactment of taxing statute. So without enactment of taxing statute, no tax can be levied or collected. So for such taxing statutes, the Article 265 provides the guidelines what shall be the nature of taxing statute, how the authority shall be exercised by government for levy and collection of tax. Therefore, Article 265 is a very important article relating to taxation. So the language of Article 265 starts with taxes not to be imposed save by authority of law. It means it further provides the basic principle or basic doctrine that must be followed by central government or state government while imposing the taxes. So, and this principle is no tax shall be levied or collected except authority of law. So unless and until the government have authority to levy tax unless and until the government have authority to collect the tax, the governments can't impose levy, and if they do so, that will be the violation of constitutional provision, that will be the violation of rights of citizens of the country. Therefore we must see how that government gets the authority and how that authority shall be exercised. So to exercise the authority of taxation under Indian constitution, that particular government must enact the law, and by making law, by enacting law, the government can impose and collect the tax. So the law should be enacted only on the subject matter which is within competence of the government, and that law should be enacted in the manner which is provided by constitution itself. So friends, Article 265 of the Act of the Indian Constitution provides a principle for levy and collection of tax in India. Therefore, the very important word is used in Article 265, and that word is called the law. Therefore, the term law used in Article 265 means statute, legislation that is enacted by government through legislative process. It means no tax can be imposed by just resolution, just orders, etc. So that law must be passed by government with formal procedure, and what the law that is enacted by government must pass all the canons of validity that are provided by Article 13 of Indian Constitution or other provisions of Indian Constitution. As you know, Article 13 is very important article in Indian Constitution, and it gives power to judiciary for judicial review of any act, activity, statute that is enacted by government. So the judicial review can be made on the grounds which are provided by Article 13. So what the intended law that is going to be enacted by government, that must pass all the canons, all the terms and conditions of Article 13. So friends, we must see what are the requirements of valid tax law for the imposition and collection of tax. These requirements are provided by Article 265. Though the language of Article 265 is very minimum, it provides just two sentences, but it have very wide scope. So we must see what are the requirement of valid tax laws. Friends, first requirement is law must be passed by legislature of competence as provided under Indian Constitution through 7th schedule. See, in last lecture we have discussed the distribution of taxing power, and there are 14 entries in a central list over which central government can make law, and there are 19 entries in a state list over which the state governments can make the law. Therefore, the particular government must enact the law to levy and collect tax on only that subject which is within their competence. Then second is the law should not violate Article 13 of Indian Constitution. So that law must pass the judicial review that is provided by Article 13. So what the terms and conditions on which the law can be challenged under Article 13 of Indian Constitution, that should not be violated by the taxing statute also, because Article 13 is applicable to all kind of enactments that are enacted by governments, whether central government or state government, and these enactments include, this statute includes, or this legislation include the taxing legislations also. Then it should not violate Article 27 to 76 to 87, as Article 27 is the article which prohibits imposition of tax on persons following particular religion, and similarly Article 276 to 87, these are the articles that are related to financial relation between central and state governments. So such conditions or such articles should not be violated by the taxing enactment, then it should not violate the limitations imposed by Article 301, 304. So these are also related to the right to properties, etc. So these liabilities also should be followed. Then another important factor that must be satisfied by taxing law for imposition of tax in a valid manner, that is the fairness of law, tax law and procedure is necessary. Article 265 provides that the law which intends to levy and collect tax, that must be fair law, it should be fair, and what the procedure that is provided under that law for the levy and collection of tax, that also must be fair. So this is also basic requirement of Article 265. Friends, the constitution provides that every step should be taken to ensure that levy and collection of taxes is strictly in accordance with the law. So it is applicable to both substantive law as well as the procedural law, because Income Tax Act provides both type of provisions, substantive provisions as well as the procedural. Also it provides procedure how to levy and how to collect the taxes also. And see, these both provisions should be fair provisions, so there should not be any arbitrariness. The procedure or the substantive provisions should not result into the arbitrariness, or it should not result into injustice with the persons. So regarding that, there is a decision by Supreme Court of India, and in Mafatlal Industries versus Union of India, the Supreme Court held that an act done in violation of constitutional mandate is void, and in such circumstances no right flows out of that void act to impose and levy tax. Then friends, as the Article 265 is mandatory in nature, government cannot neglect towards Article 265 or towards what the direction that is provided by Article 265. It means the government cannot levy and collect tax through invalid laws or the laws which do not satisfy the requirement of Article 13, Article 27, Article 301, or whatever the other important provisions which requires for the valid laws. Friends, any act of state to impose tax without legislative action will be invalid. So if that government do not follow the procedure of valid taxing laws, then the government cannot levy the tax. And even if the government levy tax, collect tax, that act of government can be challenged because it is a void or it is invalid act. Article 226 can be used to challenge the validity of such act, and the court can, high courts, particular high courts can quash the imposition of tax which is imposed, levied without authority of law. So friends, this is very important article in Indian Constitution, and it ensures fairness of taxing law that is imposed by whether central government or state government. See, fairness is very important. What the law that is enacted, that must be within the competence of that government. Then it must be enacted in a same manner, fair manner, which is required for other laws also. And what the procedure that is provided for the levy and collection of tax, that also should be fair. It should not be arbitrary, or it should not result into injustice. So friends, if you like this video, please share it with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe my channel. So friends, thank you.